Whether this was on purpose or not, my father, when I was a young man, I asked him, how do you make a lot of money? I was like, Dad, I want to make a fortune. We were walking through this little grocery store in Arlington, Washington called Thrifty Foods. And he looks over and he grabs a magazine and he hands me the Fortune 500 list. And he says, read this list and figure out what they did. And whether he was, because I'm like 13, 14, whether he's trying to get me to leave him alone and go grocery shopping, or this is like sheer brilliance, don't know. Doesn't matter. I took him for his word, Bruce. I went home, I read the list, and I was like, okay, stock market, maybe. Real estate, real estate, real estate, real estate. It was just reoccurring over and over on the list. And so I went back to him and said, Dad, I'm going to go be a real estate investor. He goes, okay. But I knew that was going to be a vehicle for me at a young age. And so I started trying to learn about it. And to be honest, I never really got deeply into it until I was in my 20s, but I knew I wanted to. I did a 29 unit townhome project. The gain was going to be 1.45 million. This was a grand slam. We smashed it. It was amazing. So if you look at that and you say, well, what's 35% of that? And you go 400 grand, 400 and something. That's what I would have had to have given to Uncle Sam if I just sold the development project. Instead, what we did was we sold the project. We did a 1031 tax deferred exchange. We bought 3 duplexes up in Ferndale, towards the Canadian border.
Mm-hmm.
We did a cost seg on it. And then we did a cash out refi. So I got handed $985,000 back. I got $2.2 million worth of real estate, and I took a $461,000 write-off.
No, that can't be.
I went and found all the guys and gals who were doing a fair amount of business that you would consider to be a small to a medium builder and a small to a medium investor. And I said to them, hey, Bruce, what is your buy box? And a lot of times they didn't know what I was talking about. And I said, well, if I was to bring you a deal, what would that have to look like? Give me your terms. And I would help them define their terms. And that includes, let's say it's a flip. How much do they want to net? What level of repairs they're willing to do? What's the timeline they're willing to do it? Are they willing to do the majors, mechanical, plumbing, electrical, roofing, structural, and define the scope? And then I would say, Bruce, I'm going to go find you some deals. I'm going to bring you these deals. And all I want you to do in return is explain to me how you're doing it. And I said, but I have to warn you in advance, I'm going to ask you more questions than you want to answer, but I will give you more deals than anyone else. And I did that with builders. I did that with investors. I did that with multifamily people. And I made them tens of millions. And they made me hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars in commission. But I essentially got paid tuition by helping them grow their wealth and then explaining to me how they were doing it. It was amazing.